Okay, so P7.9 nuclear issues. So let's start off with the nuclear fission issues because they're more important. So the main one is radioactive waste. The main downside is the fact that it lasts for ages. And is expensive to process. Now, that doesn't mean it can't be processed. It just means it's very expensive to do it. So you've got to build that into your cost. It's not huge quantities, so you can find somewhere for it to go, but it's just very expensive to do it in a way in which is safe and environmentally friendly. Okay. Your next issue is the fact that you've got risk of accidents. So the famous ones are Chernobyl and Fukushima, more recently in Japan. And basically, when something goes wrong with a nuclear fission power plant, because it can cause a chain reaction, it is very dangerous because it's hard to stop if you're not in control. So this one, it blew up because the pressure got too great because they couldn't slow it down. This one, they couldn't stop it enough, and they couldn't pump the water away after it was flooded after a tsunami, and the basement got completely flooded. And that, unfortunately, that's where they kept the pumps, and they all stopped working because they were all flooded, which meant that the water was always touching the reactor rather than being moved around the reactor. That turned it into steam. The steam built up pressure. The steam then escaped, and then their sea became contaminated with radioactive particles. So you've got to be careful about the risk of accidents. And that can be exaggerated by things like terrorism or earthquakes or things like that. Okay, so you need to protect them against that. And the other problem with fission is that it is expensive. To clean up the site. So the cost of a nuclear power plant, one of the major costs of a nuclear power plant is to decommission it once it's finished. That's one of the most expensive bits. Now, of all the things that are important to you as a class, they're going to be building new nuclear fission power plants near you. You need to know about these, you need to know about the issues, you need to make sure that people are doing things properly and safely. Now, they can be done really well, and it can be a good source of energy. Let's go on to what's good about it. First thing that's good about it is there's no emissions, okay? So, no greenhouse gases. The fuel will last for hundreds of years. Okay, so we're not going to run out. It's not like oil and gas. We're not going to run out anytime soon. No emissions, no greenhouse gases, and the fuel will last for hundreds of years. Oh, and it's very easy to hook up to the national grid. Because you can put the power station wherever you want, pretty much. You want a fair bit of water, so you probably want to be near a river or something similar. But other than that, you can go anywhere. Okay. Fusion problems. It's really hard, which means that it's expensive to get started. But if you do manage to do it, it is brilliant because they'd be cheap to run. Because the fuel is just seawater. There's no chain reaction, so they can't explode. Nothing can go wrong with them. Basically, when it stops working, it just stops working, so they're safer. Even though there are these crazy hot temperatures, basically you just flick a switch, turn it off, it will stop.